ambassadors ayagala agende wali naye alinga mukazi nga payo data mpolayo omutwalo.
Yes.
Yes. And another
yes. No, see,
okay, and another thing, like these days, like abasajja abasinga abakuze, but like these days, like abasinga ba rich kids. Yes, generation yene eliko the Gen Zs abasinga like ba Jaden.
Yes,
tata inamu, mama inamu,
so
tena
partly blame the way they've been brought up.
Yes,
Parents,
yes, like
Pamela Isamat, educate us, let us know. Njagala kuja. Pamela, what do you think? Yes.
Everybody has said the right thing about the generation and how men are. But me, I don't want to agree with the fact that weakness is the right word to use, because a man still remains a man. But yes, he still remains a man.
Some men have given up on being men.
No, it's not because the weakness comes when you see guys going for pedicure, manicure, doing detachers kind of hair. When you see guys. When you see guys like Myra said speak about their emotions and come out and object to things, the generations have changed. Those days, men were not supposed to be emotional. You're not supposed to cry. You're not supposed to. You're supposed to be masculine all the time. You can't show any sign of weakness, which has changed these days.
Every time I cover one.
Yeah, I hear you.
But men are not necessarily weak. It's the times that have made the kind of men that we see these days. And also the fact that the times have caused men not to put in any effort. Because, well, we know everybody's looking at the girl child, the woman child, because they need to be emancipated. The consequences of anything, if it is pregnancy, they lie more on the woman. So people look at the woman more and say, she's going to be the mother to this child. What about the guy who impregnated her? He's probably in prison. He's at 18 years and his life is damaged or something like that. So the fact that they're looking at the girl child, the emancipation thing, is one of the things. Social media has also hyped a lot, making men look weaker and look poorer and, unable to support. But at the end of the day, the men are not putting in any effort because of all these factors that everybody else has mentioned. Men are not putting in any effort. They have completely also abandoned their role. Because at the end of the day, men are not supposed to, like the way fathers are supposed to nurture their sons, is not the soft life kind of nurturing in the old times. It's that the way that you're supposed to learn from your dad. You see him going to hustle every day, coming to pay school fees, coming to pay rent and do all these things. And you're supposed to follow in that trail as a man, naturally fall into it.
Yes.
Strength only lies in the pocket. Strength is single carry. Let me say 80%.
What, yeah?
Omwana bwakera kumacha nga ine bintu byegomba asola bimutusaka tugeza akuze myaka 17 16 aja ganze taddi njagala kugula kino tokirina. Next time omugambe togenda ngambe ngenda gundi agambye okumpa emitwalo ebiri nze ngenda mukolera akantu gundi ampe ebiri ngule gundi t-shirt je nkusabanga tozirina. So there you will be weak oja kutukesera ngatona nacho omugambayo.
But by the time omwana watukira okugamba ekintu ekyo, it means you've already shown weakness already. Because me, my dad engeri je mumanyi mu, he can't tell me I'm not going to give you this and I said let me try other options. Kubanchi nani one side no, but you can't not tell na
ngamba abakazi omwana ndikutunywa mani tuli yara nakuzino omukazi tachanyoma mass mugundi mass 6 packs nalabye mimi juzi ngazigamba nakudde kuwe kireve ekirungi nenga mwavu nakuzino bano kinekirevu newo wa gym era bajagamba nti tolina amu yo because you have no
money. But let's accept the fact that a man's natural role is to provide.
Yes.
And the provision includes financial capability. So a man must show either potential to be able to provide or must show a woman who already has more than him how to multiply what they have. He must be able to give that direction. That's still part of provision. But the men these days have taken the back seat. The women, because the emancipation has come up, women are doing things for themselves. They have decided to sit in their role, not in their role, but they have decided to take over.
But they are doing
the men,
let them do.
You see now that's the thing.
This is giving up.
You're doing it by the way.
I was talking about.
I appreciate the effort you're putting in. Please do more.
But you see, a man who has grown up with a single mother
that's
believes that the woman now her role is to do all these things.
Yeah.
So when he meets a woman, he wants a woman to meet him halfway in every way. By the way, which it's okay for a woman to say, "Let me support my husband in one way. Maybe I'm earning more, whatever." But for a man to just deliberately refuse to do his part is what the men these days are doing. Detach.
Labayo. Let me tell you. Wama finances uzimanyi zilina other factors. Zetolodde. Amajaga kubula bubuzi.
That's obulabula.
Pikini yakusinga obutabo. Oba musabye mulimba wadde pikini.
Definitely.
Kati mayiro manya abantu beyajja nabo wana abalenzi. Ne bamane bawamu mayira. Okitegedde? Soka kati omulenzi bambi yazzeeyo ayagga.
Ali ku gaali ya muyimbi.
Naye bagazi nze kyemba kama abalenzi obutalaga weakness. Tufumbe ba pikini bantu bajjeko amajja mu ngeri yonna. Oba bakadamu oba bakimufumbo mugabe twagala zimba nyumba bikimujjeko amajja tugabere mu control. Amagezi ge tulina okuddamu kati strength y'omusajja wegenda okuddira.
Okay, we might this is I was reading somewhere the other week. A generational shift happens after 20-15 years, 20 to 30 years. It has happened. Nti abantu abatuzala, there are certain things they used to believe in. Now the Gen Zs are adults that are starting families and they've subscribed to different school of thoughts. Ditacha togenda kwata Mairo Mugambe Tulawa.
Of course.
Which your mother would tell your father. Sorry, your father would tell your mother. Yeah. Nekati kutusa mugamba because already ainamu kubutabo, already ainamu abali mu inbox banja atasobola okukola. So so we are having a generation that has a school of thought of woyambala empale nange ngenda jambala. Woyita wano nange ngenda yita wano.
What a man can do, a woman can do better.
Now that if it's the female has been elevated almost to the level of a man.
Are they excited?
Thank you. And now tetugenda chimenyawo. Western worlds faced it early. That's why omukyala asobola okugoba omusajja mu nyumba n'agisigaza.
Bano bali excited ba Pamela. They think they
so how best do we handle a relationship where we are on the same levels but still a man is supposed to come out on top in terms of emotion, in terms of provision? Siama, if I'm dating you and you're earning more than me, you expect me to provide. You have standards. Sigenda kwe kutulamu bina. You understand there are certain things that you need that probably I don't have yet in my time. Chili chetwagala last week. Ka financial clock. Nechi ne biological clock. If a man's financial clock has not yet clocked, does it make him a weak man?
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
But how he deals with it is what makes him
Please explain, Myra. Please explain.
Now, let me tell you something. I'll speak from a personal point of view. Because me, I'm a person, when I'm in a relationship and my man is being a man, regardless of how much he's earning.
Define that, him being a man.
Like him executing the masculinity in him.
How? Through carrying you?
Not really carrying me, but through like showing leadership in everything. Because when I'm in love, I will be open to you. You will know how much I'm earning. I'll get my salary and come to you because I know you're that lead. You're the lead here. I'll be like, now this is my salary, and I was planning to do this and this and this and this, but I would love to know what's your view. And if you're willing, you're going to be a man and say, you know what? Let's do this and this and this. But me, when I'm in love, I'm in love. I'll tell you, this is my salary. I earn this and this and this and this.
Being broke has stopped me from doing a lot of stuff.
That is
why are you misleading? Wait, you always come here to mislead.
Me, I'll tell you. You know what? My salary has come and I got this and this and this and this. But I was planning to do this and this and this and this. I don't know what your view is.
Yes.
And if you are that man that has been leading me, I'll only do that. I'll only do that. Bobango ndaganti, you're the lead, and we have like
a future.
We have a future. To know lugendo wetuliko. I'll do that, and actually, it's you going to tell me, but you know what, you're planning to do this and this and this. I suggest we do this.
Njagala okole research before Pamela detach and see Pamela njagala tukole research tegere ekintu kino. One of the key characteristics of a Gen Z girl, omwala omuto, this is a girl who is below the age of 30 probably, or we can put it up to like 35, the most common feature, characteristic and symptom they have is being rebels. Yeah, kola research,
It's true.
What do you mean rebels?
It's a generation thing.
It's a generational thing. That is what has come, and we need to accept it. Now, how do you want a man to lead a rebel?
Let me tell you something. No one is born a rebel. Someone becomes a rebel.
You create them.
You've created. Let me tell you something. Men have created the rebels we are, and are not willing to deal with them.
I don't think it's men. As I come to you, Pamela, I think it's how we've been groomed. We've been groomed by. Remember before this generational gap happened. Shortly we lost a lot of parents to HIV. We had that HIV pandemic. So in a result, and we also have. We've had an era where a lot of parents have been going for cheyo, and then it has left a gap of one child, one parent.
One parent,
ne divorces so one child, one parent are the results we are seeing in this Gen Z generation. Now one child, one parent has not had an example of having both parents around. One child, one parent has been born and raised to be a rebel. Toinacho mugamba. It's okay, they will get you as a man, but under their conditions, they do not listen. Yes.
They are not so much rebels.
With the father, yes.
Mothers have raised their kids with a lot of hatred.
They didn't get
with a lot of anger.
A lot of words to the father.
Actually, that is one of the reasons, because many people have been raised by mothers. Nganeta ne waba contributing. Tamanya nti tata contributing because of what their mothers are telling them.
Thank you.
Tata ochidinenga mama, inside them they know. Yade tata tell what they are providing.
Oh, yeah, thank
so
you.
omwana ne waba mlenzi ne waba muwala akuzala batata taina cha providing and mom can make it happen. Bwebigana muko katono agamba after all nga mama wange yabakuza nawe ababo bakuza.
Strength y'omusajja weeri. Ku making sure nti omukazi yennafu kanga mayira bwagambye. Nti bwaba afunya amajja sikujja nti alete nti avuga 800 get it. Wajja bwati omanya nti ali solinako control ya de emitwala 5.
Thank you.
Kuye mugendo zikola.
Ne watakyusa byengugamba.
Musajja awe strength yo katina kuzino weeri.
Pamela, there's something you
said. Strength ekyali wali wakubogola mutogera.
Yeah, I wanted to give you an example. I think you've seen some of those. I don't know whether people do it for content, but it happens in real life where you go out with a guy to a restaurant and the woman has the money and she passes it under the table. You get it. Now we are in a generation where the men, I agree, are deliberately lazy. Much as there are issues of limited opportunities because
and unemployment is on the rise.
But there's always things you can do even if unemployment is on the rise. But I feel like women will always be women. They always want a man who is going to take the lead. They always want the man to be the masculine. That's why you find her passing money under the table. That's why you find her dressing up the guy. She's buying nice t-shirts, like trousers for him and all that. Where I don't agree with Natasha saying, or Myra's issue of, you see, men are like dogs. You train them.
Hold on.
This is no ordinary discussion. This is the Red Seat. Morning to Kone.
I want you to speak that in capital letters. Let me even give you a bit.
Men are like dogs.
Women are like that.
The way we train them is the way that they will live or they will treat us back. The kind of reciprocation you'll get from them. Now, if you train a man to believe that you are going to be the hard worker, even if this man earns 20 million a month, he's going to look for that woman who wants to get something from him, who wants the support from him to give her something. As compared to you, who is showing him that, I am in control, I'm in charge, I make maybe 5 million a month, I'm bringing it and putting it on the table.
You're misunderstanding me.
Let me finish my point. I can spend as much money as, as I want, or maybe I brought the money here, you planned for it, you budget for it. He's going to remove 500k from that money, and he will look for a girl who needs 10k for her hair or 20k and provide for her, because men are naturally providers. When they have to give. So when you train a man to believe that I make the money and then I bring it home and we spend it together, he's not going to a Gen Z man. even if a young millennial who is like maybe 40s, 35, going downwards, that man is going to get used to that system, that habit
I'm glad you asked. So how do you want to live your relationship? You want to get your money and take it, you're staying with the man. So you want to get your money and perhaps take it somewhere with your relatives. And then you stay here hungry. You stay here with the man.
No, that is not where necessary.
There are very many women. There are very many women who are earning money. You get it?
What they do?
They provide for the home, but I am not going to bring my money and put it for you here. I'm not going to tell you I earn 800,000. You get it, and bring it here. But I won't sit with you and we plan together. You get it, and you have to put something on the table at the end of the day. Not a man who's going to sit there.
You can hear it. Hold on.
Okay. No, this is what I'm saying. This is my point,
Pam. Money is a taboo. That for you get all the money and then come and you tell that you have nothing in your pocket. So how do you want to do that?
Yes, I can do that if I want to train a man to be hardworking. If you want to train a man to get out there and do something for himself, you must do certain things.
No, something I'm going to first of all disagree with you, Pam. Is you cannot train a man. You cannot train a man.
Very well, you can. You guys, you
may think you are.
There's a difference.
But you can.
There's a difference. Let me just say this.
Yeah, as we go for a break,
Training a man is not imposing things on a man.
Thank you.
It's
Hallelujah.
just showing him how things should be done respectfully. It's not that you're trying to tell him, Toina sente, or you don't do like this, or you don't like. No, you get it. If you have, if you maybe you're supposed to, if you can't afford to have chicken 5 days a week, have it twice a week. You get it. If maybe a certain kind, if you can afford to pay rent of 500,000, move to a house of 300k. You understand? You're training him to see, but let him see the luck that this was better and this is not. So yeah,
we got to go for a break. The majority of men that still do provide. By the way, you know not to be okay. But just know that 70% of men are still providing for women.
They are not.
It's the other way around.
The problem,
it's the other way around.
when they go to Kololo and think that all men are these boys, then they go here, then they go get them biaro. These women are under men.
What age range are you talking about? Which men are you saying?
If the young boys in the villages are married with their simple houses, mukuru muchalo chiri chitya. Abalenzera zimba akayumba kawo, nagula akagari. We're going to take
a quick break. This is Galaxy. It's the Red Seat.
1 minute. These guys. Now he's talking about the village.
How many for themselves cars? Okay. How many girls, your friends, that have bought for themselves cars?
Me.
Ditacha, wait a minute. Let's go
to Ditacha, hold up. Pamela, as you
let's go to the village setting Ditacha is talking about. The times have changed to the extent that this woman is the one who goes to the garden in the morning.
Yes.
She's the one who cooks. She's the one who brings back money from wherever she has worked from and gives the man. The man goes and sits with his friends playing Overwatch games.
This is no ordinary discussion. This is the Red Seat. Mid-morning to Kone. Zina.
mutandikirawo.
It's just a few men.
Which is okay.
It's just a few men that are
Wama
providing
labayo.
for most of the
Labayo.
girls.
Olina kuba chali balina sente. Abana bola meka bapangisa. Chali nga ina ku sente bulungi
Ate
ngamudikizo.
kyembategezaako okugamba.
Abana
It's
bameka
a few men
bapangisa.
that can
Abana bameka
provide, that are providing for most of the
You're seeing
girls.
them driving, they are under, they're still under me. Neze chengamba kiri kimu. Kanate bano kamba bileko, this is a fact. Abalenzi abali waggulu, many that are above 30.
Yes.
Beba kyali mu provision. Kati je tulaga emyaka gy'abatendo okuwa omutwalo
ekizibu ate gwalina okubanga
era mwe kati je tulaga ffe kati tukyali mu looka eri abali 30 and above mbumena zo kati bano bya myaka 23 bafikirayo Bariyo Kenya okwata omutwalo agukuwe where we are going.
And that's the reason why they're saying men are weak. Do you agree with the saying that people are saying in zino nti ekyasa kino abavubuka, they are weak men, they are not fit to be in relationships, they run away from responsibility? For me, this is what I think. You see, there are certain things that come with maturity, and there are certain things that come with bakuziza batya. Whether we are in Gen Z, millennial, or chechigendo kuda konga tuvude mu Gen Z, Gen Chu, I don't know, whatever. There is never going to be a time in life when women are not emotional. Abachala batondebwa nga bali sensitive, extra emotional. So how you handle a woman depends on you, your persona as a man. Bakuziza batya, and what are your values and principles. Now, the Gen Z man has not understood the anatomy of a woman. Back treating anga bro. Why? Because that is what the society has shown them. Tuyiriba fena, tusomye fena. Uchimanyi ntine ku gali kati kuliko ba picking ngali mu maaso ku gali na ya Taksin Maxado yagamba vayo uchitegera. So kati yogena mugambo oti anti tula nze musajja yegwe mukyala. They don't understand this, and lack of knowledge is not ignorance. It's just you don't know. Obatoman, you don't know any better. So it's going to be difficult for a Gen Z guy to treat a woman better when they do not know. And the fact remains that women are emancipated. That's why it's very easy, Myra, to be desperate. Nagamba tendo. Nze nkweyo kubeera nze ka. Nkweyo kubeera lonely ate sagala ku dating abasajja bakadde. So kukamiri kwezi kange ke bampadde. Do you know that today it's men that move in?
Yes, 100%.
Kugambe je tulaga filimu ndala.
They move in.
Wano we tulaga tugenda kufa.
It's guys that move in. Myra aliyawo akola ku Galaxy ayina kasente ke nagamba kiditacha jangu.
Tongerageranyako gwe.
Nagamba Rio Kenny. Namgamba jangu. Kati now, I'm just we're using that age bracket. Now, ultimately, Myra yatekawe mmere waka. Myra yasasura ka rent ke. Because remember how you started the relationship. Wagamba Kenny kolachi moving in. Kenny agenda nakusabiriza border. Oba tolesewo za kameza okitegeera. Now in the long run you're staying together. There are certain things that are going to happen biologically. Mwegatta, you're going to have a child. So when you have a child with a man who you've been providing for, tokaba,
I know,
because wachingiro chiraba wachingiro chimanyi. And the man you have doesn't know any better.
Kati Henry, yes, echimu kuchiraga weaknesses abasajja is the high rate of single moms.
Thank you.
Olaba single mom manya there is a weak man somewhere. Kakati weak man ono women bo bacha amanyi nti they are still bakyali mu kiri nti they are still to be provided for. Kubanga bo babasomesaamuko ne babagamba ebyedda ate n'ekirala nti abasajja abakulu bamyakaana bakyaliretinga n'abaana b'emyaka 21.
Thank you.
Kakati ne babalaga nti we can provide. Kati baba balowooza nti even Ivan can provide. Of which Ivan amanyi nti ennaku zino beeka ye tamanyi na kumanya ne tebamugamba ko nti
he does not know.
He does not know. Kunkuula. Computer. You know, let me tell you, there is hearing and knowing. I think they know we are talking about.
That is why, if you remember,
something.
not so long ago,
not hearing that men provide, but you definitely don't know how the provision has to be.
Like 5 years ago, that's when men started complaining about syndicated transport in that nonsense you wouldn't hear it in 2006.
Like they are talking about relationship.
Yeah.
Sakala zikaola kagenda kumpita sente.
Yeah. But for
Just
me,
because
I want to
they-
blame this. I want to blame this on the single mothers that have raised these boys.
Yes.
Because
And girls.
Yeah, I want to blame yes
and
the
girls.
single mothers that have raised this new generation because most of the mothers that are single mothers because they had weak men. You had a weak man who disappointed you and made you a single mother, probably at a younger age or at whatever age, and you're raising a man who is going to make another single mother.
But I want to tap that when it is hot. You see, a man, I want you to understand this. Knowing what he wants does not make him weak.
That's different.
If I am with you, Pamela, relating, I say A, you say B.
Yeah.
Nyambala empale nawe no jambala. You disrespect me and I leave you. It does not make me a weak man. I know what I want as a man. You understand? Jagala tuchitegere, and that's the number of many women we have out there.
We create those.
It's not weakness. Me refusing to be uncomfortable with you does not make me weak. It's actually me. I know what I want.
Okay.
These days, even as women,
single
create
mothers
those
are single
men.
because they have had useless men in their lives.
No, the word is not useless, by the
I'll
way.
call them useless
No.
because if a man cannot
we
do their role,
can't blame.
Who will
No, Myra. First of all, the reason why we have single mothers is not entirely because it's the man's fault.
not entirely, but most.
And it doesn't mean that he's useless. Okay, me, I don't want to go into the argument, but I just want to say that the men are the cause. Like when you look at the whole chain, it goes back to the man. You are the cause and you have failed. Because even after separation, you have failed to play your role as a father figure in the life of a child growing up. People have abandoned that role to the women alone. And because these are the reasons they give. The woman is stubborn. The woman doesn't want me to be involved. Henry, what?
I want you to finish. Then my pulo is near you. Nina chenjagala okugamba tukitegere bulungi nnyo. Are you done?
With that point, yes.
Now listen. Fenna tuli bantu.
Yeah.
Sigenda beera naawe. Omanyire. Ompisemu amaaso. Buli kimu okinkola embigumire. You see, the problem with ekitonde ekikyala. Mwerabira. You see, before, let's say the child came, I was there. I was providing for you. I gave you direction. You just refused to follow me as a leader. Now, me walking out of your life does not make me a weak man. It means I know what I want. But it also depends on the magnitude of why did I walk out of your life. I'll give you an example. If you cheated on me, if you did not prioritize me as your man, do you expect me simply because I need to fulfill my father figure duties? Yes, I understand we have a child, but wamanyira, wampisamu amaso. Listen. And the relationship between me and you became bitter. You showed me that other men are better than me in your presence. And when you reach out, Ditacha, you can testify to this. As a dekabana wabwere. A woman is not going to ask you mubuntu. She's going to ask you with abuses. Before she even reaches the statement of msindikira ku sente z'omwana mbwagwe banangu omuntu naye gwoliko muntu. So Pamela, put yourself before I am a man, I'm a what? I'm a human being. Yes, I'm supposed to understand how to control my emotions. But you abuse me and I clap for you?
No, you're not supposed to clap.
Yes.
You're not supposed to be with a woman that you feel is badly behaved. But you made a mistake and you brought in, I don't think, look at it as a mistake, but you brought in another extension of both of you.
A human being.
As just the same way she's struggling through all those emotions, calling you a dog or whatever, is the same way that you should involve yourself in that child's life, and that child should know that I have a father figure somewhere, even if he's not with my mother. I don't know whether the Tasha would agree with me, because as a father, you know, I believe he plays that role. Like, he has to involve himself in the child's life as a father figure. You must be present, which is something that most men have abandoned. You leave the woman to be single as a single mother. She has bad manners. Then you're focusing only on the woman and forgetting that you have a child that you need to raise as a man, and you need to teach values, especially if he's a boy child. As a man, you need to bring out that boy.
I always ask fundamental
at a certain
questions.
Age, by the way, because we know the law says 7 years below.
Chamusajja.
Bamuzikawa.
Wamwe.
Thank you. There's no man with senses who abandons their child.
No, they do.
Many times I've heard men say, I'll let that kid suffer because of the stupidity of their mom.
Because the mom
very many times I've had that
to
statement.
the extent these days omukazi akusindiikiriza yes Myra, there are women out there.
Still, it's a man's weakness. A man should still be as strong as omukazi ne waleta
wakabera na bameka wakaleka bameka be honest yes so do we call you a weak man
no, he's involved eri wano bwomanya kyoyagala nategedde kyenjagala nti piki nyono sijasobola kubeera naye ne ali n'omwana mbadi kizenza nnyo okusigala ng'omwana ono afiiringa nti tata wange egoni kati maybe nze nina advantage into maybe I'm a media person to what somebody will still know mwana wa detach and somebody mwana ajakumanya as people say around oli mwana wa detach but still a man will not take away mbadizo nokulanga okola ki
Ditacha, omukazi akusindikiriza n'agamba n'omwana si wo. So how is this man?
Thank you.
Yes.
Emotions
akusindikiriza n'agamba omwana si wo. How are you gonna still act as a man?
Those are extreme cases. Those are extreme cases where it's really bad. But there are cases where a man is just supposed to be involved in a child's life.
The fact remains that we've had a generation of boys that have not been raised to understand a woman, and the women that are rebels. So now you see the cocktail that we have. A man has not been raised to understand the emotions of a woman. We only want happiness. The moment life happens, and when I talk about life happening, is tubeera fenna emizeje emibingi njirabye kati obogoka oswankula ofuluta. You don't know how to use the toothpaste. You don't know how to cook. Cut now, real life happens. When that happens, instead of men, and remember. Instead of a man understanding that now this is the person I chose. You see, for a relationship to survive, one of you has to be willing to go an extra mile in that relationship. Now, you have a woman who is a rebel, 100%. Out of 10 Gen Zs, 8 of them are rebels. Like byomugamba, like Cynthia bata kwagala. Now they are not raised to listen and follow you. Kat, you have to go through that grace period of teaching her ngasomeso mwana wa nursery. Now some men will be impatient, and remember, as you're teaching them, there's also life happening nti amajja mwetaaga ebintu ajja kugamba banaye tubadde mu kisenge diro nkoyewo wano njagala beera mu nyumba njagala akamotoka njagala yo kikati yo pressure yona. You know what boys do and why we call them weak? He's gonna run away. He's gonna abandon ship. You want it or not. There's nothing else. There's nothing else he knows how to do. And remember, also in the process of abandoning sheep, there is a woman older than you who is lonely.
You see, Henry.
Thank you.
Yes. Henry, you see, this is the thing. I don't want to agree that men do not know what to do. Because you are Gen Z boys, and there are millennial guys and older. I don't know which other generations.
Yes.
These guys, you actually see these girls are running to these guys. But because of what factor?
What?
Provision.
Kawewevu.
No, it's not kawewevu, it's provision.
Provision of kawewevu.
No,
you'll ask for a car, they'll give it to you.
Better provision.
Hey.
And provision, you people, is not only about money. Like the teacher says, it's not only about money. Is one factor.
Why are you saying like the teacher says? He's even disagreeing with you. He doesn't even know what he's saying.
Maybe but he has said it many times. Yes.
What is it about?
Attention is provision.
Yes.
You know, we women are receivers.
Thank you.
Whatever you give us, we receive, which means you are providing. You're either providing a feeling, you're providing a service, you're providing knowledge, you're providing, like, provision is wide.
Yes.
But we always narrow it down because the biggest problem is the financial issue.
Thank you.
But all other provision factors are there. Now you see Gen Z girls going for an older guy. Why? So the Gen Z guys are sitting there saying they do not know how women are supposed to be treated.
No, they don't. They don't.
No, they know.
No, we don't.
They just don't want.
They
No,
don't.
they just
don't want.
You're not really the knowing.
A man chooses
I agree with
They
this
feel
gentleman.
it's something like giving a woman, but they don't know its relevance. They don't know how they should relate to it.
Akantu kano njagala tusooke tukajjemu sente because we've also
I give my
seen
money to someone. How good is that?
Myra, Ditacha, Pamela, and Siama, we've seen boys that have come from rich families. Nga baina sente, but undersell businesses abwe. Nga money is not the issue. The biggest problem is they do not understand and they don't have the patience to deal with the emotions of a Gen Z woman. The Gen Z woman is raised and born and nurtured want to be a rebel, and they are extra emotional. And one thing I need you to understand, they are extremely sensitive. Now, a boy has not been raised in this society to have that kind of patience. Not to that patience is not there.
Before you get to that, manya emotions, manya what, the basic thing, you were talking about disrespect, and I was watching and I'm like, okay, is it the way I see it happen these days? Like I said earlier, we are in a generation of empowered women. And with empowered women that are dealing with men that don't know how to deal with an empowered woman.
Yes.
You understand? So an empowered woman will do something, and a man who doesn't know how to deal with an empowered woman will say, I'm being disrespected.
It depends on how you utter it out.
Are you more empowered than Anita Among? She's the speaker of the country. Are you more empowered than her?
I'm not.
Is she insensitive to her husband? You see, the problem is my point. We understand the empowerment. The sensitivity of a Gen Z girl, the level of emotional intensity. We've had a lot of empowered women with money.
I'm having a problem
yes.
with you men, the Gen Z guys, thinking that it's the Gen Z women who have the problem.
Yes.
Like, they're the ones who are too emotional. They're the ones who are bad-mannered. They're the ones who are disrespectful.
They're the rebels.
For you guys, where do you fall in? Because we are again dealing with a problem of Gen Z men who have been brought up by single mothers to behave the way they are behaving.
And you're putting extra pressure on these people need to be.
The
way we had just to fit in the emotions of our mothers. Kati bano ba myaka abiri mukaga. They are trying also to adjust. Name stake yamwe odds are so high. Your odds are like for our mothers. Okay. I think they have no time to adjust to such levels.
No, okay. I think there is a lot of pressure from
social media,
everything, from everywhere,
society
for a young man to be accomplished at a very young age, because they have to go through a phase in their life.
A lot.
You get it.
And these ones are not willing to be patient.
They are not willing to be
patient. They are rebels. They are stubborn.
Because they naturally want to receive. You see that Gen Z girls are going to get married to a millennial guy.
Which is okay.
Yeah, because you're typical Gen Z, like 20 something, like early 20s, mid 20s there. That's why I'm pointing at you. Myra will want an older guy because that guy is already accomplished and he benefits whatever she needs. And you know she's not going to have a problem with him. You know that guy is going to be peaceful with that Gen Z girl.
Yeah, which is okay.
Because she has fallen into her role easily.
But
it's very hard for her to be with a Gen Z guy who is still trying to figure out his life. And then at the same time, he's dealing with the pressure from her. I want this, you're not providing, So automatically she gets into the argumentative mode. Yeah.
Mwena mwekuba filter ku Snap, mwekuba filter ku TikTok. Like there's no difference. You match each other, you do the same roles. She's an influencer, you are an influencer.
We go to salon and painting, you're doing repair.
But a man's clock. You see, at the end of the day, omukyala akula. No mami akula. Mu myaka gino egy'ekivubuka tugenda kwekulusanya kirizagana. But by the time we reach certain levels, tujja kula nga buli omu amanyi kyayagala. Now if I get Myra nga nze mmanyi kyenjagala naye nga ye akyawulira nti ayina ebbugumu. You see, when Gen Zs have this thing, I don't know if you guys are going to agree with me, but they believe that they can use their body to get anything.
100%.
To get whatever they want in life.
Yes.
This is what the girl child is. Yeah. I want us to agree with it. Sure. Now, you look at me when you approach the relationship as a source of you bettering your life. You've not looked at me as a person. You've not looked at me as Henry, a human being. No manyanti binebi. Njoizo kumfunanga nyino mulimu ku Galaxy. Netubanga twakatandika relationship ne gugwao. Now you have to deal with me as an individual. As long as a woman still feels like her body, her looks are going to get her through any door and get her opportunities, she's not ready for a relationship. Unfortunately, that clicks in after a certain age. Bakukulusanyizo birabye. You've had money, you've not had money. They've done the kali yake Dubai bakaita batya Dubai poti bichi like buli kimo kirabye bakubye MP bakugulidde motoka bagikujjeko. They've done everything to you.